If you want to stop being an idiot, get a little chocolate croissant. Because just the word croissant's gonna make you feel smarter.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, May 11th, 2023. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Heyo.
Heyo! And last but not least, over yonder, it's the apprentice, Eshua Kid.
How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up, Esh? I'm on high alert, actually, right now. About 20 minutes ago, I got in here a little early this morning before the guys, and a giant-ass bug dropped out of nowhere and scurried across this table towards your seat, Tass. I don't know if it was a spider. I don't know if it was a roach. I don't know if it was something else. We did a pretty intense look for it.
Did a sweep?
And she gone. So I guess it could appear at any point in this podcast.
So you didn't see it,
No, I saw it.
but you didn't know if it was a spider. You didn't know it was a roach.
It was
big.
It was quick. It was quick. Well, it was about the size of a nickel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounded like a stink bug to me.
We got a lot of weird bugs down here.
Yeah.
A lot of bugs.
Oh, it's springtime down here.
If you're watching live and you see it crawling, say something.
Yeah, say something
Yeah.
in the
I
comments.
think
there.
I had an earwig on my shoe today.
Don't like those either.
That's one of the grossest looking bugs. It's on my Mount Rushmore of gross bugs.
I agree. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Like the vid, comment away. Again, yeah, tell us if you see something scurrying across the table. And subscribe to No Dunks. We hit 69,000 subs.
Nice.
Very nice. And actually a lot more came in, so we're well on our way till 70K. So thanks to everybody that finally subscribed yesterday. I don't know what took you so long, but we appreciate it, and let's keep going. Share the show with your friends. Get your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. And hey, if you're a Survivor fan, join us later today for a new No Buffs live at 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube as we break down probably the best episode from Survivor 44. Good one last night. So TK,
Quality episode.
JD, and myself, and probably the bug will be talking about last night's awesome Survivor episode. But we got some games to talk about. Some staving off elimination happening there on Wednesday night. We'll begin with the Warriors defeating the Lakers in Game 5 to force a Game 6. Tass, I know we'll get to the Anthony Davis injury and the implications of that. But the game itself, what do you think?
Well, I think the force of Anthony Davis through the first 4 games caused another change with the Warriors. Forced another change. They started this series with Kevon Looney and Draymond Green starting. Game 2, they went a little smaller, a little shootier with JaMychal Green in the starting lineup as opposed to Kevon Looney just trying to space the floor. Then they lost in Game 3, decided to go even smaller with Gary Payton II at Game 4. And then in Game 5, still Gary Payton II in the lineup, but they decided to speed the thing up, make Anthony Davis move as much as possible out there. And it wasn't so much just pass, shoot threes. It's not how they won this game. It was just taking the driving lanes and going at Anthony Davis. And knowing that Anthony Davis has gotten more tired and has had his best halves in first half and then slowed down each and every game. So he has caused the Warriors to change, and they were basically able to just, especially behind Draymond Green driving and Andrew Wiggins driving and those guys just moving as fast as possible. They're just saying we're faster and we have to try and get the biggest guy and the biggest force in this series moving as much as possible, and they did that. And it wasn't just hitting threes. They started with threes, but then they got pretty cold in the third quarter. Didn't make one, but they were able to bang home mid-range after mid-range after mid-range after mid-range, hitting 16 paint points in that third quarter. They had 20 in the second quarter, I do believe. So they were really going after it. And yeah, just trying to make them move as much as possible. They got the W that way, even though Anthony Davis went out in the fourth quarter. It didn't seem like the Lakers had any real shot of coming back.
Yeah, I agree. It looked like the game was over when Davis eventually went out, and it just looked like the Warriors did all the little things right and knew what they needed to do to get a win. It starts with Draymond. I really do think scored 20 points. The Warriors are 4-0 when he scores 10 or more in the playoffs right now. They were 52-50 points in the paint for Los Angeles, which is basically a win for Golden State. They kept him off the free throw line, which allows the Lakers a chance to rest. So if they ain't getting the free throws, it's going to be an even bigger taxing kind of night for Davis, for LeBron. I thought the Warriors did a good job on the glass. They won the rebound battle, which gave them a chance to push in transition. Like you're saying, they played a whole bunch faster. And they got a huge game from Andrew Wiggins, which they absolutely needed. 5 assists for this guy, I think, is a huge number to see in Wiggins' box score. It's only the 3rd time all season he's had 5 or more assists, but the Warriors were hesitant to put him into pick and rolls in Game 4 because he's not necessarily a playmaker like Gary Payton II is, like Draymond is. Wiggins stepped up when he needed to. Both him and Draymond were so aggressive trying to get to the hoop and trying to make plays that when you're getting 80-plus points from your big 3, you got a chance. And so the Warriors, they got the championship pedigree, and they looked like it last night.
The other thing they did with Wiggins that I liked was they had him really fight through screens instead of just giving up easy switches, because we had seen in some of these previous games the Lakers doing a good job of trying to get Curry into the pick and roll and to switch and have LeBron on him, or even Lonnie Walker IV as he took over at the end of Game 4 there. But they were trying to avoid that this time, and you do that by just saying, just fight over the screen, stick with your man, let Curry stay with the guy we originally got him on. I thought that was a nice little wrinkle there from Steve Kerr and the Warriors too. But yeah, Draymond Green to me was the real difference maker, right away. Just looking at the rim has an impact, man, and attacking it, and obviously finishing a little bit inside. They did a good job of trying to get AD in a Curry pick and roll action, and that led to those lanes for Draymond and Wiggins, like you said, either the mid-range jumper there or even attacking. 25 points, the 5 assists, 7 boards, really good efficiency from him, along with the stellar defense. That's the Wiggins that helped win the championship for them last year. That version of Andrew Wiggins. And he showed up here in Game 5 as they extend this series. Let's talk about the Anthony Davis injury, though. He leaves with, like you guys said, 8 to 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, takes an inadvertent elbow from Kevon Looney, badly shaken up by the incident. Now, according to reports, he's placed in a wheelchair. He's carted to a training room after feeling woozy, I believe what Dave McMenamin was sharing on ESPN. He was able to leave the arena at the end of the night, walking out to the team bus, no assistance. And this is important, I think. There's been no mention of a concussion after the initial evaluation of AD.
That's smart by the Lakers.
Yeah, because
as soon as you say that word, here comes the protocol.
That's right. Right. I mean, sure looked like a type of concussion. If the guy's saying he's woozy, you saw the way he was reacting. But yeah, they are not labeling it as such because, Tass, you nailed it there. You'd be obviously prohibited from returning to action on the same day, and that's not going to happen. He didn't return to the game. But that next calendar day, you got to go through all the league-mandated return to participation process, right? You got to you're on the stationary bike, and you're running, you're doing drills, and you got to sort of take all these tests as you go through. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen in this case because they haven't said it was a concussion.
We'll be watching the tweets, and that's all we can really do. That we can just go through the speculative type conversation. There was no mention of it, and he had to go off on a wheelchair to get to the back because he was dizzy apparently, and that's that.
It screams sort of concussion, does it not? When the guy can't walk on his own, at least off the floor, and is woozy, but he walks out at the end. I don't know. It feels like a concussion.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, when it happened, I thought he got hit in the eye with an elbow, just the way it happened. So, I don't know. Darvin Ham said he's doing better. We checked on him. He's doing okay. That's what he said. But he didn't look like he was doing okay. Certainly not in the game. But he's got a couple of days. We shall see. I mean, there's no way to know. There's literally no way to know. I was more worried, to be quite honest, when LeBron came up limping on his foot. He tried to take a layup. I think he ended up coming down on Looney's foot. Is it Looney was standing underneath?
Looney did them both.
Looney contributing either way. But then, LeBron limped back. It looked bad. He'd obviously had trouble with his other foot. So you think maybe he's overcompensating. But then he threw down a monster dunk about a minute later. You're like, okay, he's fine.
Yeah, that wasn't the foot that kept him out for a long period of time. Yeah, and with Anthony Davis, it's...
Don't know.
We absolutely do not know. And yeah, we all make the jokes about Anthony Davis, but he has been fighting back. Took a shot, to the junk and fought back. So he has been playing through a bunch of injuries, and it could easily be that they were down double digits and they decided that there's no way we're even thinking about bringing him back in this game.
Yeah. You've been talking a lot, Tass, about more Gary Payton II. He got a little bit more burn last night, and he contributed. I mean, 13 points,
awesome.
and he's like probably one of the best plus-minus guys in the box score. You'd have to assume Kerr's going to continue to go with this here in Game 6 in LA on Friday.
Yeah, they were just running, and they must be tired. When they had a lead in Game 3, and it looked like there was a possibility that they could take up a 2-1 series lead in this series, it was second quarter. They were up double digits themselves. The Lakers just clogged everything down. They just stopped the game, essentially. They just slowed it down. And Gary Payton II allows them to just keep speeding it up. He was a plus 25 in this game, and I think they truly must be gassed after that game. And yeah, it's just they see on the other side, we've just got to keep everybody moving. They won a game where Curry shot 3 of 11 from 3 and Clay shot 3 of 12 from 3.
From the floor, yeah.
Excuse me. So they're happy with what they did. They still shot 51% from the floor.
Oh, yeah.
That's the battle, baby. So I think they can keep that going, I assume. Now for Gary Payton II, he's key, really.
Yeah, well, that's the concern, right? Heading into Game 6, if you're a Lakers fan on Friday night, yes, you're back in your arena, but we have the AD head injury. We don't know his status, whether he plays, and even if he's okay. There's that. You have the Warriors having figured out at least sort of their starting lineup and how they want to play, of course, Gary Payton II, and even Poole, at least in rhythm a little bit last night. Can he sort of build on that? You had an aggressive Draymond. There's that. And you have the concern, Trey, of are one of the Splash Brothers going to jump in the pool here very soon? I mean, it's setting up for a Game 6, Clay, because this guy's been ice cold. And then even Curry, who over the last 2 games has played incredible basketball, but has not shot at the the efficiency from deep that we've seen him throughout his career. I mean, over these last 2 games, really struggling from deep. That's a bit of a worry, probably, for some Lakers fans.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Game 6 is a must-win for LA because they don't want to play a Game 7. Steph Curry just had a 50-point Game 7 in the first round. You never know what's going to happen. And, yeah, if you're the Warriors, you're thinking, and Steve Kerr even said it post-game, our best guys haven't shot well yet. So that's what we're kind of hoping for. That's why we're feeling encouraged going into Game 6. And obviously, you would feel that way. You've got one of the best Game 6 performers of all time. If you get a nickname that's specifically about a game in a playoff series, you've come through in the past. So everybody's going to be eyes on Clay, Lakers included. So we'll see what he does.
Yeah. Right. And wasn't the Game 6 Clay moniker, it was created when they were down 3-1?
Indeed
and
it was.
On the road, and he does his business. We'll see if he can obviously replicate that. That's asking a lot for a guy that's been struggling with his shot. But we know he can do it. Any feel here on the Friday night game, though? It was impossible, especially with AD.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult with AD. The things that the Warriors have going for them, they always win a game on the road. That's what they do. They haven't won one in the series yet. They win one every single series. They lost both in LA in Game 3 and Game 4. The Anthony Davis thing, regardless of the concussion side, let's say he plays, because we all want him to play. He hasn't had a block in 2 straight games. He has slowed down just a little bit, and he is their force on the offensive end. There's no doubt. They just need him to be not only on the floor, but great. So they have that going for them as well, that Anthony Davis is slowing down a little bit. Even though he had a really good game in the 3+ quarters, he wasn't as dominant defensively, and they were able to limit him because they got him moving all over the place. And they also took Jared Vanderbilt off the floor for this game because they need offense, and Jared Vanderbilt only played 11 minutes, so he also slows down Curry and the team. So they just know what they're doing. Do I have a feel? Heck no. But yeah, game 6 it does definitely feels must win for the Lakers.
Well, we got 2 of them on Friday night because the Knicks did their part as well. Jalen Brunson scored 38 points as the Knicks beat the Heat 112-103 in their Game 5 in MSG. Trey, this was a weird game. I mean, if we're being honest. That first quarter was one of the ugliest quarters we've seen in the playoffs so far. Knicks down, then go on a huge run, and then they're up big, and then suddenly, oh my God, here come the Heat. Duncan Robinson hitting threes, Lowry getting them back into it, and I was like, oh my God, not like this, Knicks. Not like this, where you had a 19-point lead, and suddenly it was down to like 1 possession, but they pulled it out in the end, and Jalen Brunson was a huge part why.
Oh, Jalen Brunson was a massive part why. We talked about it yesterday, how the Knicks could win this game. You got to get a good Randall, you got to get a clutch Brunson, and you got to at least match the Heat shooting-wise. They did all those things, and it was because Jalen Brunson and Quentin Grimes played 48 minutes Tom Thibodeau afterward was asked about it for Game 6. He says, if it requires them to do that, I'm not afraid to do it. Honestly, kind of sounds like a threat. He's like, you're playing 48, buddy. Hope we don't go overtime because it will be 53. We've seen it with Jimmy Butler in the past. But honestly, I was really impressed with the Knicks. Sure, they almost blew this lead. They almost gave it away in the fourth quarter. But the way I look at it is they took multiple punches from the Heat and answered back both times. It seemed like the game was going to be over after that first quarter. 24-14 for Miami. 14 points in the first quarter of a closeout game. Not great for the Knicks, but they followed that up. 18-2 second quarter run basically to start the quarter. That was huge. It was a 2-point game in the fourth, an 11-2 run to close. Yeah. I thought that was just some good resiliency from the Knicks that we haven't necessarily seen in this series so far. And Julius Randle, what a weird game for this guy. Made his first shot. 3-pointer. You're thinking it's cook time. Missed his next 6. And then he went 6 for 6 after that. So right. Who knows? Started finding some shooters as well. I thought Randle played a pretty solid game. Good performances from Brunson, Randle, and RJ Barrett, who's had a really, really good series. So the Knicks did what they needed to do last night. They stepped up in every facet of the game where they had been lacking. So an incredible win, I thought.
Mitchell Robinson, active at least on the rebounds too.
Yeah,
11, 8 points, and like they went to the hack-a-Mitch, and he did just enough, usually hitting 1 of 2. Somehow. I don't know how.
It's enough.
That first one would go in, and his second one would almost, take the rim off because it was such a line drive. But I think he finished 4 of 8 at the line, and they did manage to keep him out there for a couple more minutes, and then Tibbs took him out, and obviously Hartenstein played, and then they got him back in there after the final 2 minutes. But yeah, everybody contributed, especially the backcourt tasks of Grimes going a full 48 and Brunson the full 48 with the 38, 9, and 7. Like, don't forget Jalen Brunson's name when you're making your best players in the playoffs list. He's at least on the second team right now. I know there's a lot of great guards, but holy crap. He's been lights out the last 2 games.
Yeah, even in that loss there where they went down 3-1, he had 32. I mean, their big 3 with RJ Barrett and Julius Randle all had 20-plus in that game. But in this game, they just kind of out-heated the Heat. They got a little Quentin Grimier in this game. I thought they were able to fight off a deficit. I thought they were done after that. Even in the first quarter, that bad call where Jimmy Butler kicked those legs out and he was able to get a flagrant foul call on Josh Hart, which was, come on, a little ridiculous because he didn't have his landing spot. So 3 free throws and then the ball, which turned out to be a 4-point possession. It's 22-14. And with the way their offense has been just murky, just really sand in those spokes, it didn't seem like they'd be able to come back. Even in the first half, second chance points for the Heat were 17-3. But this Knicks team had the resilience of a Heat team, and the Heat kind of looked like they were back in the regular season, not able to throw it in the water until the fourth quarter. But I thought Tibbs unlocked Jalen Brunson a little bit. We definitely wonder about Tibbs's offensive tinkering. In this game, I thought there was just a few plays to just keep him going, and the way that I thought they did it was a bit of a misdirection. Somebody else bring the ball up. Jalen Brunson kind of looks like he's out of the play, kind of trailing that guy, and then it's sort of like a handoff. Give that ball to the bowling ball and just let him work. He just barreled into Gabe Vincent a few times, and it was just go straight at him, and it was smart. I mean, went right at Vincent, drew a foul doing that, got to the rim doing that, dropped it off to Randle doing that, and that's how he got to 38 points, and he only had 1 turnover. I mean, it was pretty masterful. That doesn't happen. There's a stat out there. I was too tired to grab it, but it was 48 minutes, 1 turnover. It just doesn't happen very often.
Pretty amazing.
Last guy was Jimmy Butler, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That felt like Brunson's game was very Jimmy Butler-esque. Totally. The way he was bullying and living at the line and obviously contributing across the board, playing the full 48. Yeah, very Jimmy-like. Dan Devine tweeted after that first quarter debacle from the Knicks. I think he was in MSG. There is a distinct lack of juice in the gym at the moment. Knicks desperately need a spark from somewhere, anywhere, or this could get ugly, uglier, fast. Obi Toppin was a bit of that spark. I mean, his box score is not going to blow you away, but he was out there after they took Randle out, and he contributed right away, and it got them going. He was that tiny little bit of spark. He was a little bit of flint to get the crowd and that team back into the game after a garbage first quarter. They were frustrated with the officials. There was no doubt. They were fouling a ton and didn't think they were. They were turning the ball over. They couldn't make a shot to save their life, especially Randle after that first 3. But yeah, him and still Brunson and Grimes out there because they didn't miss a second. got them back going, along with RJ Barrett, who had another really just solid-ass game and has put together a pretty good string of playoffs here that maybe have like some Knicks fans going, okay, yeah, all right, I see it. We've had to be pretty patient with this guy, but you obviously see the flashes, and it's nice to see him string together a postseason here.
22, 5, and 3, shooting 47 from the field, 41 from 3 in this series.
That's good.
For the playoffs, 25 and 3, 45 from the field, 35 from the playoffs. That's fair. You'll take that. He's been a little bit more reliable, I feel like, than Randall, which is something you're not always assuming with the Knicks. But the key is for them getting both Randall and Barrett to play well in the same game, because then they're really tough to beat. When they're getting 20 or more from their top 3 guys, that's a good offense right there. The problem is when Randall has a good game and Barrett is underneath. Barrett has a good game and Randall is underneath. Last night, they were both flowing.
Yeah, and they're still able to win with those 3 guys 20 plus and nobody else in double digits. But so many contributions from, you mentioned Toppin and Quentin Grimes, who was just fighty and scrapping throughout the night. And then you just see how this Knicks team got here. They've got the 3 scorers, but then they surround them with a Quentin Grimes and Mitchell Robinson and guys that will fight. And that Quentin Grimes, it's the play at the end, which was phenomenal. He turns his ankle. He looks like he's done. He's done on the play. He looks hobbled. It sort of looked like Jimmy Butler in Game 1. Grimes was on the defensive end. Are they going to go at him? Well, yeah, they do. Jimmy Butler gets the ball against a hobbled Quentin Grimes. Can he fight through this? And he poked it from Jimmy Butler. He's able to body him, stood him up, and then poked it from him. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 5 assists for Quentin Grimes. So the perfect complement to their big 3. What happens in Game 6? Can they do it again? Can they have that same sort of energy? And was it too late to throw Quentin Grimes in the starting lineup a little bit later in this series? Because now they do have the spacing and they do have their rotation back. They feel like the Knicks again. And that was a real inspirational win at home. It feels like the Knicks again, but I don't know if it's too late.
Miami looked like the regular season Miami, too, when it came to shooting threes. Outside of Strus, who had a decent game, and then Duncan Robinson late to get them back into it, which obviously matter. But they shot 13 of 43 with the deep ball. Kevin Love was looking like Al Horford. He was wide open. He just could not come close to knocking these down. I know one sort of bing, bounced out, but he finished 0 for 7 from 3. They were wide open looks. Like I don't think if you're going to play that game again and simulate it again, I think the chances are he's going to knock down a couple of those and maybe it's a different game. But he just couldn't get one fall, nor could a lot of the other guys, especially outside of Strus there in the starting lineup.
Yeah, they had 2 hot stretches that you mentioned, basically, with Robinson getting hot at the end. But this is probably the worst game that the Heat have played so far in the playoffs. I don't know if it's their lowest shooting percentage from 3, but it kind of felt like it. And the Knicks took advantage. They made 13 threes, as did Miami, and theirs were just more reliably throughout the game, which I think definitely mattered, though. Shout out to the Heat for at least getting back into it. And I don't know. I mean, a weird one. If Jimmy comes through in the end, they could have won this one. Jimmy had a chance to win it. He looked a little tired at the end, so we'll see how he is. Game 6, I assume he's coming out in kill mode.
One random note I had from this game. I think we have the screen grab here. Did you guys see the big hat?
You bet.
The big old noggin hat, whatever we call these. Look at this guy. It was a quick shot. I made sure to take note of the time, though. I was like, I'm going to grab that because, man, just like imagine standing behind that guy or just like, I don't know, just even near the guy.
Who would be, I mean, look at, who's worse to stand behind? Kid in the big hat or his friend who's next to him who's still 6 inches taller?
And he's a giant.
Yeah,
right.
That's a tall kid. Number 9. Why is James crying? He just got dunked on. Big Blue right here.
I haven't seen one of these in the wild yet. Like I've yet to walk across someone in a supermarket or in a store. I'll definitely document it the day I do. But there he is. Taking it in, big old hat man. It's just a great look. Somebody pointed out it looked like Tim Bontemps a little bit. The lower part of his face because you can't see the top part because of the shadow. Any other random notes from the Knicks' gritty win there in Game 5 to give us 2 Game 6s on Friday, like I said?
It's just awesome seeing that guy. Every time there was even a hint of seeing a big hat, you could kind of just see it in the corner there. It was just awesome. just so fantastic. I wonder if, like baseball, they banned the big hat celebration here in the Braves dugout because there's a home run celebration.
Yeah.
The Braves were putting on the big hat. And they banned it.
Why did they ban it?
Because it's not a new era hat.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Oh,
It's so dumb.
So New Era said no.
oh
no.
my God.
I'm surprised New Era hasn't made a hat like
They got to
that.
make big hats.
Yeah,
What
come
are you
on.
waiting for, New
I
Era?
guess they're above that. That's below them to make a big hat. We're a ball cap
We're a
brand.
normal size hat.
I don't know.
company.
I mean, I'm just assuming. It's weird.
Well, why don't
So I
they
wonder
like?
if those get banned. I wonder if the NBA has hat deals. Probably not because they don't wear hats. But I don't know.
I was gonna say, have the Braves talked about as a bit of an FU then to be like, all right, well, our home run celebration, we're gonna get like the little ice cream hat or
Tiny helmet?
and wear that instead, and walk around like you're Ron Swanson.
I guess you could do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, those are allowed.
Yeah, okay,
Anyway,
they're fine with
I
this.
think the Braves' mistake was they didn't go with like their hat doesn't look like the Braves' hat. They put Braves on it. Every Braves hat just has an A on it. They would have done that. They would have been none the wiser.
no idea.
Like, we made it.
Yeah, hold on.
Who's got the biggest hat on the Braves? Did we send that hat?
That looks like a huge hat to wear. It just looks like too much.
It
on your
looks
head.
heavy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No,
Yeah.
no. I bet the hat is light.
I mean, it has to be. I guess.
Yeah. That's all spandex fabric covering a lightweight frame.
I mean, this is also what I look like just wearing a normal hat. So there is that part. I mean, I should wear one of these. See what would happen. I might like just fold up like an accordion or something. I don't know. Or my head would fall off because it would be so top heavy.
we got to get a big hat. I
Well,
mean,
Just to try
you know
it
what's
on.
interesting? Like,
stupid.
remember we
We've been
talked
talking about these dumb hats for months.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We talked about them for months when they came out. We're like, oh, these are crazy, man. And then it was like they were gone. It felt like they disappeared for a couple months, and then I guess the Braves sort of had them back in the zeitgeist. This guy's got one.
I mean, they're around. You'll see them in a crowd for sure. But we need to see one in the Classic Factory.
Okay, all right.
Sitting
Well,
right
hey,
there on the
look,
desk every
so
day.
we've got the company credit card. We could definitely buy a big
How much
hat.
is how much? $100? Is that what
like
you
that.
said?
No
Yeah.
way, not even. I would say, really,
Yeah.
$100.
75 for a plain one. You can personalize with a patch or go full custom. Obviously, we're going full custom.
Yeah.
Did we ever find out like how it stays on their head? Does it have like a thing on the inside of it?
I think so. Right?
Yeah, it's like I think it'll fit everybody.
Yeah.
Like it's got like a spandex inside, and it just like sits on the
You
inside.
know what it's like?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's like almost like a hard hat. I thought.
Yeah,
like
kind
with
of.
the
Like
thing.
where you can like
Yep.
change the
okay.
circumference of it
I
within
was
it.
curious.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll buy a big hat. Anything else, guys? On either of those games last night?
No, is that real? I'm staring over.
It was on
Trey's shoulder.
Shark Tank?
Mark Cuban is
Noggin
wearing
Boss?
Oh, Noggin Boss. That's what
Noggin
it's called.
Boss was on Shark Tank. Phoenix maker of gargantuan hats scores big Shark Tank investment, and there's a picture of Mark Cuban wearing one.
He looks
Noggin.
ridiculous.
It just fits him.
Noggin
got
Boss.
a large
There's
head.
something there with Bing Bong, Noggin, Big Boggin. There's something there.
Game 7.
Yeah.
Every
Okay.
single fan in MSG should wear one. That's intimidating.
That would be very intimidating.
Mark Cuban said he would help facilitate an introduction to the Dallas Mavericks marketing team.
Okay. They probably sell them in the Mavs shop.
They're gonna have like a big hat day. You look in the crowd, and everybody's just wearing this gigantic hat. Make a cowboy version of one.
But we
Yeah.
need to see like guys like Darvin Ham wear one of these. Like, do you even know? You know, Zaza
put it on
Pachulia,
Boban, yeah.
Boban, yeah. Like, let's see what happens. Okay, let's take our first break. When we come back, we got some All NBA teams to discuss, and we'll get into the snubs. Don't go anywhere.
Here is the first thing I do every day in my kitchen. Before coffee, before breakfast. I get myself a glass of water, get out my Athletic Greens powder, I mix it, and I down it. Athletic Greens is just 1 scoop in a cup of water for better gut health, more energy, and a stronger immune system. Actually, I lied. Sometimes I will take the cup of water from my wife's bedside table that she never touches and use that water instead of a fresh pour. Gentlemen, can we talk about our wives' bedside water habits? Am I right?
Women be drinking water.
Cleaning up like 5 cups sometimes. I'm the one taking it downstairs. What about you guys? What about you fellas, huh?
Oh, I always make sure to bring a water bottle to bed for my wife, Dassy.
You ever seen the
Wow.
movie Signs? I don't want to spoil it then for you, but you may want to leave that water out on the bedside table. That's all I'm saying. Watch the movie.
I saw
It'll
the
make
signs.
Watch it, okay?
All right. And it's still fantastic, even with that room temp water. Who knew vitamins tasted so good? So what is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Feels good to start my day with vitamins that taste good. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him $100 a day. He created Athletic Greens after understanding how difficult it was to create an optimal nutrition routine on your own. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/nodunks. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/nodunks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance.
I'm feeling saucy. I think I'm gonna buy it. Do you accept cash? Cha-ching! You gotta love a good old... Because Wayne, that's the sound of another sale on Shopify. And the moment another business dream becomes a reality, Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're selling name tags or hairnets, Shopify simplifies selling online and in person so you can focus on successfully growing your business. Shopify covers every sales channel from an in-person POS system to an all-in-one e-commerce platform. It even lets you sell across social media marketplaces like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and if you live in a wood-paneled basement, cable access shows. Packed with industry-leading tools ready to ignite your growth, Shopify gives you complete control over your business and your brand without having to learn any new skills in design or code. And thanks to 24/7 help and an extensive business course library, Shopify is there to support your success every step of the way. Party on, Garth, party on Indeed. What's incredible to me about Shopify is how no matter how big you want to grow, Shopify is there to empower you with the confidence, baby confidence, and control to take your business to the next level. So now it's your turn to get serious about selling and try Shopify today. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/nodunks. That's all lowercase for no dunks. Go to shopify.com/nodunks to take your business to the next level. Shopify.com/nodunks. All right, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're joining us live on YouTube. We did come up with a great idea when it comes to the Noggin Boss giant hats. A beach steppin' hat that you could wear to the beach or the pool.
It's a great idea.
It's like an umbrella on your head. Keep the sun off your face. Nothing healthy about a tan.
That's right. No melanomas this summer. We're wearing big hats.
It's a giant Noggin Boss that says beach stepping on it.
Yeah, what are they waiting for? Because I generally hate large brim hats. You know, the camping type hat, something you wear out when you're hiking. I hate them.
Camping type hat.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What's the good word for it? It's not.
It's almost a bucket hat, right? Like
it's a larger bucket.
Someone call
hat.
it a boonie hat, I believe.
A boonie.
Yeah.
If you live in the boonies,
hat.
that's what you wear for sure.
But you would rock a Noggin Boss on your hike or at the pool. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we got some more awards to talk about. The NBA has been handing out these regular season awards for the past several weeks. On Wednesday night, gave us a big one. The league announced its three All-NBA teams. And while some of the names, pretty obvious selections, there's a few eyebrows raised. Let's take a look at the teams. First team, Joel Embiid at center, Giannis and Tatum as the forwards, Luka and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the guard positions. This is the first team, SGA, the lone first-time All-NBA selection within that group of five. Second team, MVP runner-up, Nikola Jokic, with forwards Jimmy Butler and Jalen Brown. We'll talk about his selection in a second. And you got Steph Curry and Donovan Mitchell as the guards. And the third team got two Kings, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, both chosen for the first time, along with Damian Lillard at guard, Randall as one of the forwards, and for his 19th straight season, I believe, LeBron James. So there it is, your first, second, and third teams. The obvious question off this, any surprises, snubs? What jumped out to you?
Well, seeing Shai on the first team, just a surprise. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He deserves it. But that was just a simple surprise. Not to say that somebody should jump over, but he made the first team over Steph Curry. Games played, obviously, a big part of it. Donovan Mitchell's also on the second team. It's fine. I'm just saying it was shocking.
Right.
I was shocked that when it came to All-Star voting that he was up there because he's in OKC, but people giving him a ton of respect. So that was just my initial first response.
Hell of a season from SGA. 31.4 points per game, 4.8 boards,
That's pretty
5.5
good.
assists, 1.6 steals, fourth leading scorer. But cracking the first team caught me by surprise. I knew he'd make one of the teams, but maybe not over, like you said, a Mitchell or a Curry. What about you, TK?
I'm surprised that there's 2 players from non-playoff teams on the first team.
Yeah.
Luka and Shai. I don't know if that's ever happened. 2 teams
Highly
under
unlikely.
500 records?
Probably not.
Very unlikely.
Putting first teamers? Kind of strange to see,
Yeah.
to be quite honest.
Yep.
I was impressed that Jimmy Butler made second team. That's the highest he's ever finished in an all-NBA voting. He only played 64 games, but we saw him drag the Heat to a whole bunch of wins, and I think seeing how the playoffs have played out, you're like, yeah, that guy's top 10. Quite obviously. Probably my biggest snub, I would say, is Devin Booker. He only played 53 games, which is probably why he didn't make the team, but during all of his runs when he was actually playing, he looked like easily a top 5 guy. I would have had him easily above SGA, but and honestly probably Luka as well. But 53 games, I guess, was not enough.
Well, yeah,
For some reason.
that's the interesting part. No Anthony
Yeah.
Davis here either. Now, he played 56 games, but that's the exact number that Curry played. Booker 53, like you said. Durant, not even hitting 50. He was 47, so maybe that one makes a little bit more sense. Luckily, this will be the last year we have to debate the how many games played matters here. Is it 50, 55? Is it 60? Because next year, 23-24, all NBA teams, positionless. So we could have, in theory, 5 guards. It could be 5 forwards. It could be 5 centers on the first team. Doesn't matter. And players have to play 65 games to qualify for any of these major honors and awards. So this will be the last year where you could, at least in this CBA agreement, where you could play 56 games and make it. Let's talk Jalen Brown, though, because this is interesting. He makes the second team, which maybe surprised some people as well that he was on the second team. He was only on one first team ballot, but on 85 of the 100 selections there in the forward vote, and that got him there to the second team. That now makes him eligible for a Supermax extension worth nearly $300 million from the Celtics, depending on the 24-25 cap number. And as many have pointed out, this development likely reduces the risk of him fleeing in free agency in 2024 because of that dollar value. Tatum, by the way, also eligible to sign a 5-year extension worth over $300 million this summer, with the exact amount dependent on future cap rises. We're talking $300 million here for 2 guys on the same team.
And I hope the Celtics win the title this season.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a lot harder to keep a team around those 2 once this new CBA kicks in, and you're basically not allowed to spend money or trade players together once you get over the second apron. So good news for Brown and for Tatum, getting to lock in a $300 million contract. Maybe not the greatest news for the Celtics in the long term. Just going to be hard to put a team around player when you got 2 guys making $300 million each. That's hard to build around that kind of a team.
Sure.
They're going to do it, though. They really have no choice in today's NBA. I don't think
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to sign him. But, I mean, they might get out in the second round this year.
It's absolutely true. But most important position in the NBA, 2 guys at the same position, at the wing spot, you got to do it.
Ja Morant, the opposite of someone like Jalen Brown, he missed third team, and thus we'll see hit the extension he signed last fall decline in value by nearly $40 million over the next 5 years because he didn't hit one of those third teams, one of the All-NBA teams, I should say. That's that maybe was less surprising. He had an incredible season. Obviously, what happened near the end of the year had an impact, you have to assume.
That's the only reason, I think.
Self-inflicted suspension. Yeah.
He played 61 games.
Yeah.
I mean, Ja was one of the 6 best guards this season. So he cost himself $39 million, basically.
Yeah, the off-court incidents, 100%.
Yeah.
He was team 1 or team 2 for most of the year.
When it came to the third team, were you shocked by anyone that did sneak in there? Like, was Julius Randle a surprise to
little
you?
bit.
Yeah?
I think Lauri Markkanen, who was the next vote getter in terms of overall votes, how it was voted, should have been there over Randle. That would be my pick.
What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he compares quite favorably to Randall, except for Randall played how many more games this season? 11 more games. I think that's kind of what it came down to, and I don't mind having a Nick make it.
Yeah.
And Randall did have a really good regular season. I mean, he averaged 25 a game, 10 rebounds, and was hitting threes throughout the entire year. And, the Knicks were a bit of a surprise team, even more so not more so than the Jazz were, but they finished with a better record. So I get it, but I would have liked to see Markkanen.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It feels like the Jazz sort of shut down Markkanen a little bit near the end of the season, too. I don't know if that had any impact.
66 games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it shut down. He took a couple games
I'm looking at it
off.
now over the final, he only played like 3 of the final 10 or 11 games.
Yeah. It's true. At 66 in today's NBA, that'll get you an award.
Yeah.
I didn't factor in the additional 11 games. I just looked at the numbers. He had better numbers than Julius Randle. He was way more efficient. But if you're a games GP type of guy or gal, then sure, go for it. Go for Randle. That's fine. I do agree with the whole Knick thing. A very solid team. The Jazz, a team that missed the play-in, and Brunson not being there as well. It kind of feels like he should have one, but individually, I thought his Markkanen season was better than Randall's.
Yeah, it is funny when it comes to all NBA. There's less importance, I guess, in the eyes of the voters on your team's record. I mean, like you said, Luka, SGA, Damian Lillard's, an incredible year. He's on one of these teams. They weren't good. Lauri Markkanen unfortunately doesn't make it, but he was right there on a team that's sub 500. We'll see moving forward here with these 65 games played and what impact that has. I can't wait to hear next year people arguing about how are there 4 fill in whatever position on this one team. That doesn't make any sense. That's not basketball. Because Jokic and Embiid are probably going to be on the first team. I assume with the Giannis, this is if everybody plays enough games. And then are people going to be upset, or they're going to be like, yes, good. It's the way we want it. Something tells me people will still be upset.
Oh, that'll be a new complaint.
They're like, who's going to play point guard on that team? And then people say, oh, it's Jokic. You can run through Jokic. It's like, it's not a real game. It's not a real team. Because people were saying second team looks like they would dominate
They would.
The first team. You think so?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They can make outside shots.
All right, we got some news here in the coaching world. An intriguing name added to the mix in the Raptors' ongoing search for a new head coach. According to Woj, former NBA shooting guard and current podcaster and ESPN analyst JJ Redick has been interviewing for the Raptors' coaching vacancy. He was a part of this first round of interviews where he met with the franchise leaders in Toronto recently. They're talking to a lot of people, Tass. The list is long.
How long is this list?
Oh, it's I think Michael Grange had it at 12 or 13 people deep. But this
It's a lot of people to talk
it's
to.
a lot of people. I mean, I can tell you some of them right here. I did write it down. We got Jerry Stackhouse, Sam Cassell, Kenny Atkinson, Adrian Griffin, Charles Lee, Chris Quinn, Jordy Fernandez, David Adelman, Raptors 905 head coach Patrick Mutombo. I didn't say WNBA coach Becky Hammon. Budenholzer, I don't know. I don't think he's been linked quite yet to the Raps. But then a JJ Redick did appear.
Nowhere.
Yes.
JJ, what are you doing? You're just about to change the media game.
He is changing it.
Well, now he's going into coaching. You can't change the media game from the front seat of a head coach, never the bench. No, stay with us. Stay with us.
Well, hold on.
It's a far cushier gig. Don't go. I guess he just misses the game that much.
Oh, possibly.
Or does he dislike the media game that much that he has to go coach again?
Or it's just good for the brand to be interviewing for coaching jobs.
Oh,
True.
Yep, sit through an interview, see what it's like. Kenny Smith apparently interviews for all these jobs.
That's right.
And he's been working for TNT for 25 years.
right.
So I don't necessarily think JJ Redick is going to be the Raptors coach. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll be Steve Kerr. But maybe he's just taking a job. Maybe he's just taking an interview. I'll talk to Masai, sure.
What if they say, hey, you got the job?
He doesn't have to say yes.
That's right.
A real Kenny
Free
Atkinson
trip to
situation.
Toronto. Why not? Yeah, as springtime nears.
Yeah. Do they zoom?
Oh, you think he went to Toronto?
Zoom it.
I thought that was what they said.
Oh, he traveled? Nice.
I don't know for sure. That's how I read into it. Maybe that's me projecting. I was just there. I don't know. He did was a target, JJ Redick, for the Celtics as an assistant coach after retiring. The other thing of this is, it sounds silly maybe to say, the Raptors are looking for a head coach, of course. Maybe not a bad idea, though, to talk to, of course, a lot of people, a lot of candidates, as you probably should in a job search of this importance, but get their feedback as well. He's a respected, basketball mind, JJ Redick early here in his podcasting and television career. What does he think of the direction of the franchise or what they're doing? I'm sure it's a back and forth dialogue between Masai and Bobby Webster and JJ. So I sort of like that. I don't think he's going to take this job. And I have no idea if he'd make a good coach. I guess my gut says he would, but who knows when it comes to these things?
I think his coaching staff would be comprised of Mad Dog, Stephen A. Smith, Greenberg, yeah. He'll be taking notes for sure. He'll take notes on the weather. He knows what's going on with the weather in every city for sure. But it is that classic role player, had to work through every situation, every locker room, and was excellent at it. Tends to be a better communicator, like we see with a Darvin Ham, than somebody who is just a good old superstar, and it just came to him naturally. So that's the interesting thing for sure. But maybe he's pulling a Kenny and just get the name out there. Very interesting stuff. Come on, just stick around. We're having some fun in the media.
Well, what about this from his content play? Obviously a 15-year vet. I think what makes him an incredible podcaster and television analyst is he is so quickly removed from the game. He understands the intricacies and what's going on in the locker room, and obviously counters some of these talking heads and is you don't know shit about what goes on in there and all that. So he's the one thing I don't know about though, coaching. So I go get a coaching job, do that for a couple seasons, take that fat paycheck, and then you just come back to this. This is always going to be here, the podcasting, the TV, and then you can speak to that experience as well. He's trying to add a tool to the toolbox is what I'm saying.
This guy can do it all, man. He plays basketball. He makes memes. Maybe he can coach. We'll see.
Yeah. Michael Grange, by the way, plugged in with the Raptors, says that there's no short list because I went through all those names, and the intention remains to have their new head coach in place by the NBA draft on June 23rd. So we have the lottery right around the corner. That's next Tuesday, and then a little bit of time for the draft. But you may want to have, your head coach in place to help the decision making when it comes to the pick. He also had a great part in that piece Grange did about why he thinks sort of Becky Hammon should be targeted just a lot more aggressively by the NBA teams. There was someone who was quoted anonymously in this article that said, "I'm honestly amazed there hasn't been more of a rush to offer Becky Hammon a position. Think about it. The thing I would want as a GM is someone who is ready, and male or female, you have to take a look at this coach. 8 years under Popovich, good record of success as a player, good reputation with the players she's worked with. She goes into the WNBA, wins a championship in her first year as head coach. I mean, that's a lot of great things on a resume. Though, even if the Raptors settled on her, or any team, who says she wants to even leave the Aces situation? She's the highest paid coach in the WNBA. She's the defending champion. They have a super team going on. I mean, things are good there. So there is that, but it's only going to be, it's when, not if, she is an NBA head coach, I think.
I'm very surprised that it hasn't happened yet. And give her some time here before don't force her to go into the Aces season and have to coach games. I would assume if she's interviewing for the job that she would like the job. This isn't a situation where she is just taking an interview to take an interview. Mm-hmm. So let's get this done. I totally agree. She would be fantastic. And anyone who thinks that it would be a distraction to have a female head coach is not seeing the big picture. I mean, it is ridiculous. I think it's going to happen, at some point. But it's been going on too long. There's been so many rumors. It's got to be some smoke there.
Popovich hasn't retired yet, though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is just waiting to take over there. How many spots are open then right now? Toronto, Milwaukee.
Houston is filled.
I almost said that. You're right. Is that it? Is that where we're at? I think so.
I think so.
Let us know in the stream team if we're missing anyone there. What coaching vacancies are there? Are we just down to those two? And, are there more to come is always the case. I guess that could happen as we get closer to the draft. Let's hear your thoughts on JJ Redick as a head coach.
Pistons.
Good one. Pistons, good.
Pistons. Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne Casey's going to go back coach the Raptors.
Maybe.
Fire it back up.
Yeah.
Round 2. Let's take our second break. When we come back, tweet of the night, and we'll look ahead to tonight's do or die games for a few teams. Don't go anywhere.
Guys, you know what I love?
What?
Wine. Ever
Yeah.
heard of it?
You got a couple in you right now?
Oh, you know this little decorative mug is full of my favorite Chianti. Wine is like a 7,000-year-old drink. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Socrates drank wine. It was his favorite, and when he was drinking it, had already been around for 4 millennia. What an incredible run! And it's still going strong, but let's be honest. Not all wine is created equal. There's a lot of variations. Different types, different grapes, different flavor profiles. It's overwhelming. That's why I love First Leaf. Again, I love wine, but not all wine. Give me a Chianti. Give me a Côte de Rhone. Give me a Pinot Grigio. Hell, give me a Retsina. Hey, Tassie?
You better believe it.
That's right. But anything sweet, get out of here. And you already know how I feel about Shiraz. As America's most personalized wine company, First Leaf takes the guesswork out of wine selection. You just answer some quick questions about your likes and dislikes, and their experts will curate a selection of award-winning wines tailored to your tastes, like refreshing rosés, fun sparkling wines, or spring-friendly reds. You get to choose how often you receive your wine, and every selection is backed by First Leaf's 100% satisfaction guarantee. And because First Leaf cuts out the middleman and works directly with some of the world's foremost wine producers, you get quality wines at prices much lower than you'd expect at the store. Plus, if you have any questions about your wines, like what to pair them with, First Leaf's certified wine concierge team is there to offer expert advice. And hey, if you get the right pairing, you can make a meal 10 times better with wine. That's just a fact. So give First Leaf a try. Head over to tryfirstleaf.com/nodunks to sign up and save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. That's tryfirstleaf.com/nodunks to save 50% on your first 6 bottles plus free shipping. Tryfirstleaf.com/nodunks. Wow.
Wow, Bob. All right, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Really didn't know what to go with here for tweet of the night. Bandied about a couple. Just like I didn't know what the hell this brand is that I'm about to talk about. Tommy Bahamas.
Oh, yeah.
This tweet coming from our man, Robbie Calland.
Okay.
He tweeted with a photo of a Tommy Bahama bag. My Tommy Bahama phase has begun. A rite of passage for all of us in our 30s. End tweet. The bag lists the name Tommy Bahama, and below it, restaurant, bar, store. What are you, Tommy Bahama? What are you?
Bit of everything.
I didn't know they were a restaurant and a bar. I thought they were just a floral shirts store. Not like a cool floral shirts, but like I too got my first Tommy Bahama shirts in my 30s, and they were hand-me-downs from a friend's dad who was in his 60s. And they look like a 60-year-old man's shirt. But Robbie, I know he likes to be out on the golf course, so I'm sure they're looking perfect out there.
That's what I was thinking.
A lot of beachy looks.
Wasn't shocked by
Beachy
this
looks,
news.
flowing hair, flowing shirts, button-ups, not necessarily just golf shirts, but full button-ups.
Full buttons.
Ready
Yep.
for Hawaii, ready for the Bahamas, I suppose is what Tommy is ready for.
I didn't know about the restaurants.
I had no idea.
There are a lot of them. Guess where? In Florida.
Oh, yeah.
In Hawaii. Appears to be
know
one
that.
in Vegas.
There's one in Atlanta?
Where?
Get our big hats, our big shirts.
Wait, I'm not seeing that. Maybe it's coming.
Oh, this is the clothing store. My bad. There's
Yeah,
one permanently
yeah.
closed at Phipps Plaza. Okay, good. Too bad.
Well, I did some research, and Tommy Bahama apparently, according to one of these websites that gives you the some advice on good brands. The question was, is Tommy Bahama worth it? Overall, Tommy Bahama is a good brand if you're looking for clothes, swimsuits, furniture, or accessories to bring to the beach. So I guess it's centered around the beach life.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
and I had to I was debating again. I had another tweet, but then when I came in and I saw your shirt, Trey, not to insult your shirt, but flowy.
Yeah.
But no relation to Tommy Bahama.
This is a Uniqlo. But yeah, I mean, similar styled shirts, you would say. Camp collar's very popular for Tommy Bahama. Tommy and the boys.
Okay. So, yeah, it's getting a little warm here. I guess it's getting warm for Robbie. I mean, I did a little resort vacation recently, and I was wearing a shirt that could definitely be a Bahama
Like
shirt.
pass as a Tommy?
Oh, sure. It was flowing. Yeah, I can feel the beach waves right now, the wind in my shirt.
Oh, how many
God,
buttons did you have undone?
Oh,
man?
yeah.
3?
At least.
Oh, wow. Right down to the
Nah, I never do that.
to the belly
But
button.
it's nice. It's a nice feeling. Yeah, I literally had a deja vu. Didn't know I could still have deja vus. That felt good. Ash, do you want to go to our other tweet?
Oh, here we go. Oh, sure. Yeah, multiples. This is good.
A little quick hockey report for everybody.
There we
Tommy
go.
Bahamas and hockey.
I thought this Deadspin tweet was fantastic.
'Kay.
The Toronto Maple Leafs disappoint their fans by winning. They're down 3-0 in the series to the Florida Panthers. They won to make
staved.
it. They staved
They
off
did
elimination.
stave. That is a
That's some good
popular
staving.
word.
And it feels like a Toronto thing, you know, the old the sports problems that we have in Toronto as Toronto fans. They're better at losing. They didn't know what to do with this win. They would have been ready to riot, to cause some problems if they lost. But now it's 3-1. What are we going to do? Although outside of the Scotiabank Arena, what we know as Jurassic Park for the Toronto Raptors was absolutely going crazy for this win, even though it was played in Florida. They were going nuts because they love their Ackie.
One at a time, Tass. One at a time.
Yeah, it can be done.
I think it was fitting on the same night that the Knicks staved off elimination that the Toronto Raptors did the same thing. I think there's a lot of similarities between those fan bases, those franchises, the futility, but the diehards out there. So I like that.
That's a good point. The last time the Knicks won 50 years ago, they're trying to do what the Bucks did. 50-year celebration, 50-year anniversary of their last win, while the Leafs, it's 56, I guess.
Yeah,
a little
67 is the last time they won the cup.
So they were excited, but it's happened in hockey before. 4 times a team has come back
3-0
from 3-0.
comebacks?
Wow.
Jonathan Quick and the Sacramento Kings? Wait, no.
Sacramento
LA Kings. That's messed up that they have 2 teams in California, both black and purple, called the Kings. Different sports, different cities.
You put it that way.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Messed up.
It's not right.
What are you doing, Gavin? Change the names.
I do forget about the LA Kings for times, but
Luke
yeah.
Robitaille.
Ooh,
Nice.
Marcel Dion.
Oh, oldie.
Literally the only other king I know is Wayne Gretzky. Was he a king?
Yari
He was a king.
Curry played for them for a little bit.
Did he followed Wayne?
I think so.
Kelly Rudy.
Nice.
Between the pipes.
I'm out, man.
Rob Blake. You love Rob Blake.
Rob Blake. Oh, yeah. He
could fire.
Yeah, he played for the Kings for sure.
He could fire from the
He
blue
really
line.
fire it.
Anyways, actually,
Stratford?
the Leafs did come back to win the Stanley Cup final in 1942 from 3-0.
That was a big
Here
one.
we go.
Big one.
75, 2010, and 2014 it's happened. And it's happened once in baseball. We know.
Yeah, of course.
We know in baseball, 04.
If the Leafs come back
Yep.
to win this series,
What's going to happen?
we all buy Noggin Boss Leafs hats. Okay?
Yes.
Look me in the eyes. That's what we're doing.
Do they exist? Or
We'll get them custom made.
Custom, okay.
Yeah. Company card, of course. All right, tonight's games. 2 game 6s. Are we doing playback tonight? Is that happening? We're not sure. We'll let you know if we are.
Okay.
I thought you were, or you wanted to.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. We're probably doing a
Not
playback. Okay. He's out.
I'm out for sure.
Celtics Sixers.
Damn, this guy's got a life.
7:30 on ESPN. Philly can put this one away. They're up 3-2, so the Celtics need to stave off elimination. And then the same things goes for the Suns. They're at home, though, as the Nuggets come to town at 10 o'clock on ESPN. Denver can move on to the conference finals. So, yeah, Celtics and Suns, seasons on the line. Quick predictions. Who is still alive come tomorrow's Drop podcast? Both of them? One of them? None of them.
I say the Celtics are still alive.
The Celtics are for sure. I just wanted to get
He says for sure.
I think both are.
we go into Game 7, baby.
I think both are. Okay? Give me Celtics, give me
concur.
Suns. Tonight, let's hear from you in the stream team. Let's hear from you podcast listeners. Tweet at us at NoDunksInc. Leave your boys a 5-star rating and review. If you're live on YouTube, hit that like button. hit subscribe as we march towards 70,000 subs. And we will see you here at 10 a.m. Eastern for the Drop Podcast live from the Classic Factory on Friday. Later today, over on No Buffs, if you're a Survivor fan, at 1 p.m. Eastern, talking about last night's episode. Should be a good one. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, all 4 series here in the conference semifinals going at least 6 games in back-to-back years. It's exciting. First time that's happened since 94 and 95.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some series, and we're going Game 7. What are you looking for, a bug?
I was
over
looking
there?
for the bug, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Say goodbye. Brace the day, people.